Okay. So hello guys. So for this video discussion, let's talk about investment property. Now, always remember na kapag usapang investment property tayo, yung standard na ginagamit natin dyan is si PAS 40. Okay? PAS 40 tayo ha. Huwag mong tatandaan, PAS 40. Kung maalala mo yung mga video discussions natin about investment, meron tayong regular investment, which is yung regular investment mo na yun, nag-invest ka saan? Nag-invest ka sa debt securities, nag-invest ka sa equity securities. Kapag yung ownership mo is less than 20%, yung standard na ginagamit mo doon is yung PFRS 9. Kapag nag-invest ka sa equity securities, tapos more than 20% yung ownership mo, tama, investment in associate PAS 28 tayo. Dito ngayon, nag-invest ka daw hindi sa bonds, hindi sa equity. Saan ka nag-invest? Sa property daw. Ang standard daw na gagamitin, PAS 40 tayo. So, investment property actually is a property that is being held for investment. Okay? Meron kang property na hinahawakan mo, bakit? Or meron kang property, bakit? Anong purpose mo? Para daw, investment daw kasi, yung property na hawak mo. Okay? Kapag usapang property under PAS 40, dalawa lang daw yan. It's either yung property mo is land or yung property mo daw is building. So, meaning, kapag meron kang property, which is si equipment, okay? Usapang property dito, non-current asset muna tayo. So, ano ba yung main example ng non-current asset natin? That's PPE, property, plant, and equipment. Sinabi daw, kapag yung property mo daw, for example, meron ka daw equipment, it can never, okay, equipment that are held for investment, okay, pag meron ka daw investment, na yung investment or property mo is an equipment, it cannot be classified as investment property. Shortcutin na lang natin investment property IP na lang muna tayo. Okay, sinabi daw dyan, tama, yung property natin dito, non-current assets. Yung non-current asset mo na yan, or yung PPE mo daw na yan, hinawakan mo daw for investment purposes. Okay, yung pasok lang daw sa investment property natin under PAS 40 is either land or building. So meaning, pag meron kang equipment, meron kang investment for equipment, investment for machine, sabi daw, hindi daw sila gagamitan ng PAS 40. Ano daw yan? Normal PPE pa rin daw tayo dyan. Okay, ibig sabihin PAS 16 pa rin ang gagamitin natin dito. Alagay ko dito, PAS 16. Property, plant, and equipment. Kuha. Sige. Sir, paano ko ba malalaman kapag yung property ko is held for investment? Dalawa lang naman daw yan. Kapag daw, hinawakan mo yung property or meron kang property to earn rentals. Okay? Or, pwede daw for capital appreciation. Number one example mo sa capital appreciation. Dito muna tayo sa capital appreciation. Paano mo malalaman kung yung property mo is for capital appreciation? Tama, si land. Si land, nag-a-appreciate yan, hindi nagde-depreciate. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo daw, hahawakan mo yung land, aantayin mo yung ilang years, kapag daw tumaas yung fair market value niya, tsaka mo raw siya ibibenta. Capital appreciation. Ano yung earn for rentals? Meron kang building. Yung building daw, hinawakan mo para magbenta, para makareceive ka ng rental income. Held for investment daw sila. Ulitin ko, para malaman mo daw kung yung property, which is always land or building lang, it will be considered as an investment daw kapag hinawakan mo daw yung property for the purposes of earning rentals and for the purposes of capital appreciation. Okay? And remember that such property can generate its own cash flow. Okay? Dapat yung property na yan, it can generate its own cash flow. For example, ulit, si building. Tama? Si building, nakaka-earn ng rental. Si building, nakakapag-generate ng sariling cash flow. Si building ngayon, classified as investment property. Kuha mo yan? Sige. Dapat it can generate its own cash flow. Or, pwede natin sabihin, it can generate independently from the other assets of an asset or from the other asset of an entity to generate its own cash flow. Provided daw, okay, provided na dapat yung pag-generate mo ng cash flow dito sa mga properties daw na ito is only incidental in its nature. Hindi to sinabi sa standard, hindi to sinasabi sa libro, pero ako na magsasabi. Dapat incidental lang. Paano incidental? Okay, only incidental in nature and is not, okay, and is not its main line of business. Okay? Paano incidental lang? For example, meron kang property, meron kang building muna. Okay? Yung main line of business mo is nagbebenta ka ng building. Okay? Kung nagbebenta ka ng building, nakakapag-generate ka ng cash flow. Meron kang own cash flow doon sa pagbebenta ng building. Tama? Pero ano ba yung main purpose ng business mo? Magbenta ka talaga ng building. So, hindi mo daw siya investment property, but rather, inventory raw. Okay? Nakuha mo yon? O, for example, yung main line of business mo is yung main line of business mo is hotel. Okay? Meron kang hotel. Yung hotel mo, syempre, kailangan ng building. Yung building na yon, merong mga rental income daw. Sabi daw, yung building mo na yon, hindi daw investment property, but rather, property, plant, and equipment. PAS 16 daw gagamitin mo. Bakit? Bakit, sir? Nakakapag-generate naman ng rental. Tapos, independently, meron naman siyang sariling cash flow, yung building, yun yung rental income. Kaso nga lang, hindi daw incidental in its nature. Yun daw kasi yung main line of business mo, to earn its rental. So, yung ibig sabihin ko lang sa earn rentals dito, for example, yung business mo is magkaroon ng, or gumawa ng ballpen. Meron kang property, plant, and equipment na ginagamit mo for making its ballpen. Yung isang floor noon, hindi mo nagagamit. Ang ginawa mo, binenta mo, or ang ginawa mo, pinarentahan mo. Hindi siya yung main line of business mo, only incidental to its nature. Okay, hindi siya yung main line of business mo, nakaka-earn siya ng rental, tapos nakaka-earn siya ng sariling cash flow, investment property mo siya. Okay, mamaya meron tayong illustration dyan. Pero ulitin ko lang, kapag yung main line of business mo is to earn rentals, hindi classified as investment property yung building natin. Kasi nga, yun yung main line of business mo. So, paano siya magiging investment property kapag hindi siya yung main line of business mo? Incidental in its nature lang. Okay? Hindi siya yung main source of income mo, yung rental. Kaya, naging investment property. Okay? Meaning, from this definition itself, okay, from this definition na diniscuss natin, ano yung mga property na hindi pwedeng maging classified as investment property? Number 1, kapag daw owner-occupied. Okay? Yung owner-occupied na yan yung property, plant, and equipment na tinatawag natin. Okay? Meron kang PPE, para saan? Para gamitin sa business. Owner-occupied. Pag narinig mo yung owner-occupied, property, plant, and equipment yan, PAS 16 na ang gagamitin natin dyan. Hindi investment property. Kuha. Pangalawa, kapag daw yung property na hawak natin is your inventory. Okay? Paano inventory, sir? For example nga, real estate business ka. Yun yung binibenta mo talaga. So, hindi siya PPE, hindi siya investment property, but rather inventory mo. Kasi yun talaga yung binibenta ng business mo. Okay? Number 3 naman, kapag daw yung property natin is classified as non-current asset held for sale and distribution. O, same purpose ulit tayo dito, hindi siya nakaka-earn ng rental. Okay, ang gagawin mo daw dito, ibebenta mo lang daw. Eh sir, for capital appreciation yan ha. No, PPE or non-current asset held for sale and distribution pa rin to. Bakit? Kasi before daw, owner-occupied siya. Tapos naisipan mo lang ibenta kasi parang sinasabi mo, parang kailangan ko ng palitan. Non-current asset held for sale na daw. Okay, hindi mo kasi hinawakan yung investment mo for or yung property mo for investment purposes. Okay, basta isipin mo, itong tatlo na to, pag nakita mo yung tatlo na yan, na property na yan, pag ganyan daw yung property mo, hindi siya investment property. Okay? Nakuha mo? Okay. Sir, what if tama, yung property ko dapat incidental in its nature lang. So, ibig sabihin, parang sinasabi mo, sir, meron akong building. Okay? Meron akong building. Yung building ko na yan, yung main purpose ng building ko na yan is owner-occupied. Okay? Parang sinasabi ko, na yung building, ginagamit ko for my business para makapag-produce ng ballpen. Yun yung sinabi mo kanina. Or para dyan magtrabaho yung mga employee ko. Yes. Sir, paano siya magiging investment property? Ganito daw yan. If itong iisang building na yan is dalawa, okay, meron kasing issue tayo dito. Kapag yung building na yan is dalawa yung purpose, for example, yung first floor is for owner-occupied or ginagamit mo for manufacturing of your ballpen, then yung other two buildings or other two floor is parang ginamit mo to earn rentals. Ang sabi daw, i-allocate mo daw. Yung kalahati daw ng cost ng building mo is classified as PPE. And yung standard na gagamitin mo, PAS 16. Yung kalahati daw gagamitin mo, i-classify mo as investment property. And yung standard na gagamitin mo, PAS 40. So, very crucial na hatiin natin siya or i-classify natin siya sa right classification. Bakit? Kasi nga, magkaibang standard yung ginagamit natin. Nakuha tayo. Nakuha natin. Sige. Ngayon, sir, paano ko hahatiin? Let's say, for example, yung carrying amount nito is 1 million pesos. Paano ko hahatiin yung 1 million pesos na yan? Okay? Ganito ang rules dyan. Ito rules dyan, ha? Sabi daw, kapag yung property ko daw, okay, if the land or the building is for admin purposes, sulat ko na lang, is for admin purposes and partly niyan, or yung part daw ng building na yan, is to earn rentals. Ano daw ang magiging treatment natin? That is incidental. Dapat incidental ulit, ha. Paano daw pag yung land and building is for admin purposes and partly to earn rentals? Ganito daw yung rules mo dyan. Number 1. If it can be sold separately, ang gagawin mo daw dyan, allocate daw. Okay, allocate the carrying amount of the PP or allocate the carrying amount, which is yung 1 million kanina. I-allocate mo daw yung 1 million saan? Sa PPE and sa investment property. Okay, mamaya may illustration tayo dyan kung paano natin siya i-allocate. Okay, but usually, i-allocate mo lang siya based on their fair values na lang muna. Number 2. Okay, paano daw? Paano, sir? Kapag hindi ko kayang ibenta separately. It cannot be sold separately. Anong magiging treatment ko? I-identify mo daw. Okay, hanapin mo daw. I-identify mo which is significant. If investment property is significant, yung buong building daw na yun, i-classify mo as investment property. Kapag yung significant daw is yung property, plant, and equipment, or mas significant daw yung administrative purposes natin, if PPE is significant, sabi daw, yung buong PPE natin or yung buong building natin, i-classify mo as property, plant, and equipment. Okay, ulitin ko, ha. Anong mangyayari, sir, kapag yung building ko, kalahati niyan, kapag yung building ko, partly nun, is ginagamit ko for administrative purposes or owner-occupied. And yung part nun is for earning rentals. Sabi daw, kapag kaya mo daw siyang ibenta, yung building separately, ganito mo daw siya gawin. I-allocate mo daw yung cost. I-allocate mo yung kalahati sa PPE, yung part nun sa investment property. Pag hindi mo daw kayang ibenta separately, hanapin mo, ano ba yung mas significant? Ano ba yung main purpose ng building? Pag yung main purpose is for investment property, then gamitin mo PAS 40. Pag yung main purpose is or mas significant, maging owner-occupied siya, PAS 16 ang gamitin natin. Okay? Take note ito, the whole property. Kanina, hinati mo yung 1 million. Dito, pag significant yung investment property, yung buong 1 million, investment property yun. Kapag mas significant yung purpose for administrative purposes, yung buong property na 1 million, PPE natin yun. Okay, buong property dito i-allocate natin. So, yan yung rules. Kapag partly for administrative purposes and partly for earning rentals. Sige, so move on tayo. Initial measurement naman. Investment property lang focus muna natin. Investment property are initially measured at cost. So yung cost ng investment property mo. And subsequently, they are being measured at either at cost model or at fair value model. So, dalawa, meron ka na namang option. It's either cost model or fair value model. Yung cost model natin dito, the same yan sa property, plant, and equipment mo lang. Okay, yan lang yung cost less accumulated depreciation is equal to the carrying amount of the asset. So, dito, tatandaan mo na lang, kapag naka-cost model tayo, magdi-depreciate tayo dito. Okay, kailangan mong mag-depreciate. So, usually, straight line method lang tayo dyan. Sa fair value model tayo. Pag fair value model, dito, gamitin mo yung standard na parang same lang siya doon sa PFRS 9 natin. Na ang sinasabi, yung ending balance daw, nung property natin is at fair value. Okay, ulitin ko Medyo malilito ka dito. Ulitin ko, option to. Depende sa company policy. Pwede daw cost model. Kapag cost model daw yung treatment mo, parang PAS 16, i-depreciate mo daw siya. Okay, kaya cost less accumulated depreciation is equal to the carrying amount. Pag fair value model, kung maaalala mo yung treatment natin sa investment at FVPL, yung ending balance nun, yung fair value, tama, ganun daw tayo kay fair value model at fair value. I-take note mo na lang that they are not being depreciated kapag yung standard or kapag yung method na ginamit mo is at fair value model. Okay? Hindi mo i-depreciate kapag naka-fair value model tayo dito. Okay, sir, tama, pag fair value, meron ako nung unrealized gain tapos unrealized loss. Saan ko yun ilalagay? Sa profit or loss. Profit or loss tayo Sa P&L tayo. Statement of or net income natin ipapasok yung unrealized gain or unrealized loss. Okay? Kuha mo yon? Okay. Meron lang tayong konting issue dito. Yung cost model, madali lang naman yan Parang PPE lang yan Meron lang tayong konting issue sa fair value model, kaya medyo nahihirapan yung mga estudyante rito. Pag ginamit mo daw yung fair value model, okay? Kapag fair value model is elected, sabi daw, but cannot identify the fair value. Ano daw gagawin mo dyan? Sabi daw, kapag ganyan daw yung scenario, use cost model daw. Okay, gamit ka daw ng cost model, meaning i-depreciate mo daw yung property, plant, and equipment natin. Or, hanapin mo daw yung cost less accumulated depreciation. Yung carrying amount daw, yun daw yung deemed fair value ng PPE natin. Okay, but so, okay, ito gusto ko i-emphasize. Use cost model, but do not, do not use the salvage value. Okay? Kukuha mo ba? Ulitin ko para nakuha mo. Initially, i-measure mo ang investment property mo at cost. Okay? Yung cost nung pagbili mo ng investment property, yun lang yung cost natin. Subsequently, gagamitin mo cost model. Pag cost model daw, yun lang yung cost less accumulated depreciation. So, i-depreciate mo lang siya. Kapag naka-fair value model ka daw, yung ending balance ng PPE mo is kung ano yung fair value ng PPE. Or, yung ending balance ng property mo is yung fair value ng property natin. Okay? Any changes from the beginning balance up to the ending balance will be recognized as unrealized gain or unrealized loss. Saan? Sa P&L. Okay? Ngayon daw, kapag ginamit mo daw yung fair value model, tapos hindi mo makita. Gusto mo lang gamitin yung fair value model. Tapos hindi mo makita yung fair value ng property na meron ka. Ang sabi daw, mag-cost model ka daw muna. I-depreciate mo daw muna sila. But, hindi mo daw gagamitin yung salvage value. So for example, meron kang PPE or meron kang property, 1 million yung cost. Salvage value mo, 50,000. Tama, pag cost model tayo, ang ginagawa mo doon, tapos yung useful life mo, 10 years. Tama, pag cost model tayo, ang ginagamit mo doon, sulat ko na lang. For example, yung cost is 1 million. Salvage value, 50,000. Useful life, 10 years. Tama, kapag ka naka-cost model tayo dyan, yung formula mo dyan, 1 million less 50,000 divided by 10 years. Straight line method. Ganyan daw. Kapag daw inelect mo daw yung fair value model, tapos ang gagamitin mo lang yung cost model kasi hindi mo lang makita yung fair value, ang magiging formula mo daw dyan is 1 million over 10 years. Yung 50,000 daw na salvage value, ignore mo daw muna yan kahit ibigay pa yan sa problem. Kuha mo? Okay. Sana nakuha mo ha. I-emphasize ko na yan para sa'yo. Ulitin ko lang, hindi mo lang i-consider yung salvage value kapag yung model na ginamit mo is fair value model na magiging cost model lang dahil lang hindi mo makita yung fair value. Pero kapag cost model na yung inelect mo from the first place, gagamitin mo pa rin yung salvage value natin. Okay? Kuha? Very good. Ngayon, ito pa. Okay, ito pa. Sabi din daw, once fair value model is elected, it cannot be changed to cost model. Okay, yan ang sinabi ha. Ganito kasi yan. Kapag kasi ginamit mong model is yung cost model muna, pwede ka daw lumipat sa fair value model kapag mas relevant and mas reliable yung pag-present mo ng information. Ulitin ko, pag naka-cost model tayo, yung subsequent measurement mo is at cost model, pwede ka daw lumipat into fair value model kapag mas relevant and mas reliable yung pag-present ng information. Kapag daw inelect mo daw yung fair value model, sabi sa standard PAS 40, it is very deemed unlikely, okay, to change from fair value to cost model. Parang sinasabi na kapag nag-present ka, kapag classify mo yung investment mo at fair value model, sabi daw, hindi ka na pwedeng lumipat sa cost model. Tandaan mo na lang yon. Eh sir, bakit dito? Bakit dito? Nag-elect ko yung fair value model, tapos i-measure ko at cost model. Ang kulit mo eh. Sabi ko nga, igagamitin mo lang yung cost model kapag hindi mo makita yung fair value. Pero yung model na ginagamit mo, fair value model pa rin. Okay? Dito, cost model ka, nakaganito ka. Tapos gusto mo lang lumipat sa fair value model, pwede naman daw. Eto, naka-fair value model ka. Tapos gusto mong lumipat sa cost model, hindi daw pwede. Gagamitin mo lang daw yung cost model pag hindi mo makita yung fair value. Pero naka-fair value model ka pa rin. Okay? Pero yung pag-measure mo ng fair value, kasi nga hindi mo makita sa principal market yung fair value ng property mo, tsaka ka lang daw gagamit ng cost model. Pero naka-fair value model ka pa rin. Okay? Okay. Hindi ko na isusulat to. Gusto ko na lang sabihin. But regardless of the method, kung naka-cost model at naka-fair value model tayo, okay, kailangan mong hanapin yung fair value. Bakit? Kapag naka-cost model ka, kailangan mong hanapin yung fair value for disclosure purposes. Kailangan mo siyang i-present kasi sa notes to financial statement mo. O, pag naka-fair value model ka, bakit kailangan mong hanapin yung fair value? Dahil nga, yun yung measurement mo. Okay, emphasize ko lang kahit na naka-cost model tayo, required kang hanapin yung fair value required kang hanapin yung fair value nung investment property mo dahil for disclosure purposes. Okay, kuha. Kuha mo. Ulitin ko lang yung concept para di ka nalilito. Investment property ulit is it can either be land or building that are held for rentals, kaya nga investment property, or for capital appreciation, provided na yung pag-earn mo ng rental or yung for capital appreciation mo is incidental only in its nature, or hindi yan yung main line of business mo. Kaya sinasabi na kapag daw owner-occupied, tapos inventory or non-current asset held for sale or distribution yung property mo daw, hindi siya investment property. Okay? Okay. Ngayon kapag daw, partly, kalahati daw is ginagamit for administrative purposes and yung kalahati is for rental purposes that is only incidental in its nature, sabi daw, i-separate mo daw siya. Pag kaya mo siyang ibenta separately. Pag hindi mo siya kayang ibenta separately, hanapin mo ano daw yung mas significant. Pag mas significant yung investment property, yung buong property na yon is yung buong property na yon is classified as investment property. Pag mas significant yung owner occupied property, sabi daw yung buong property daw i-classify mo as PPE. Okay? Initially, i-measure mo yung investment property mo at cost. Subsequently, at cost model or at fair value model. Pag cost model, magde-depreciate ka lang. Pag fair value model, yung fair value lang ang hahanapin mo. Yung ending balance or yung fair value ng property mo at the end of the year, yun yung ending balance ng property natin. Hindi din yan i-depreciate. Any changes, saan papasok? Unrealized gain or unrealized loss sa profit or loss. Okay? And kapag inelect mo daw yung fair value model, tapos hindi mo lang makita yung fair value daw ng property mo, ang sabi daw, gamitin mo daw muna si cost model. Pero hindi mo i-consider yung salvage value sa pag-compute ng depreciation natin. And once inelect mo daw yung fair value model, it cannot be changed to cost model. Okay tayo? Okay, sige. So, para mas ma-appreciate natin, sagutan natin yung handouts muna natin dito. Mag-prepare ako ng handouts. Medyo marami to. Illustration number 1. Classify natin. Sabi dyan, Sasuke Company owns the following properties that are accounted for in accordance with the International Accounting Standards. Sabi, land held for long-term capital appreciation. O isipin mo, ano ba yung lupa? Land. Uy, land and building. Pwede sa investment property. Ano yung purpose? Capital appreciation. Uy, investment property tayo dyan. O ito, land held for currently undetermined use. Kapag undetermined use, tandaan mo na lang, kapag undetermined use tayo, investment property yan. Ibig sabihin ng undetermined use, hindi mo pa alam kung saan mo gagamitin. So ibig sabihin, hindi pa siya owner-occupied, hindi pa siya inventory, hindi pa siya non-current asset held for sale. Ano daw gagamitin mo? Investment property daw. Okay, o next, building that is owned by Sasuke, leased out under operating lease. O yung leases natin, discuss na lang natin pag nasa part na tayo ng leases. Tatandaan mo na lang, kapag investment property daw, kapag meron kang property that are held for operating lease, classified siya as investment property. Okay? Pag operating lease, investment property yan. Kasi nga, parang rental daw yan. Okay? Tapos building pa. So, investment property nga. Next, building that is vacant but is held to be leased out under operating lease din daw. O building, vacant, tapos for operating lease, investment property din daw tayo dito. Property that is being constructed or developed for future use as investment property. O, specifically sinabi na investment property. Next, property held for use in the production or supply of services for administrative purposes. O, sinabi na for administrative purposes. Ano classification mo dyan? PPE na yan. Ito, property held for use as, uy, narinig mo, owner-occupied property. PPE na rin yan. O, ito, property held for future development and subsequent use as owner-occupied property ulit. PPE na tayo dyan. Ito, property held for sale in the ordinary course of business. For sale, property for sale, ano yan? Inventory na yan. Ito, property being constructed or developed on behalf of third parties. O, parang sinasabi mo, gumagawa ka ng property para sa third parties. Parang inventory mo din yan. Tama? O, next, property that is leased to another entity under finance lease. Ito ngayon. Kapag finance lease tayo, hindi mo yan asset actually. So, ignore mo lang yan. I-recognize kasi natin yan. Yung classified lang as investment property is kapag operating lease. Kapag finance lease, hindi na yan asset. Hindi mo na yan asset. Okay? O, next. Machinery leased out by Sasuke under operating lease. Uy, operating lease. Investment property yan. Ngek, hindi. Bakit? Ano yung property mo? Machinery. Ano ba yung sinabi ko kanina? Ano ba yung pwedeng maklasify as investment property? It's either land or building tayo. So ano to? Property, plant, and equipment pa rin yan. Kahit sinabing operating lease yan. Kahit sinabing for investment property yan. Kahit sinabing for capital appreciation yan. Machinery yan. Hindi yan pwedeng maklasify as investment property. Okay? Next, building under construction to be used as office. O gagamitin ko as office. Ano yan? PPE yan. Building under construction to Saskis employees. Gagamitin daw ng employees. PPE tayo dyan. Kahit na narinig mo dyan, to pay rent. Kaso sino ba? Employees. PPE pa rin daw yan. Okay? Next, office building awaiting for disposal. Uy, office building. So, owner occupied. Gusto ko lang daw ibenta. Ano yan? Non-current asset held for sale and distribution. Okay? Sana naintindihan na madali lang naman silang i-classify into investment property or PPE. Basta alam mo yung definition ng investment property mo na dapat land or building lang. Tapos for capital appreciation or to earn rentals lang na dapat incidental lang. Okay? So question, compute the total investment property that should be reported in the statement of financial position. Kano ba yung investment property mo dyan? 3 million, 2.5, 1.5, 1.8, 2 million. Meron pa ba tayong investment property? Wala na. So, yung investment property natin dito is 10,800,000. Tapos, requirement B, indicate the classification of assets. O, okay naman na. Na-indicate naman na natin. O, yan lang illustration 1. Madali lang, no? Okay. Meron lang medyo nalilito lang kasi doon sa cost model and fair value model. Tapos, meron tayong mga other issues pa mamaya. Pero, patadaliin natin yan. Madali lang si investment property. Very minor topic lang ito sa financial accounting and reporting natin. Kailangan lang ng konting tiyaga. Huwag ka lang maiinis. Ikaw kasi, pag hindi mo naintindihan yung topic, maiinis ka, titigilan mo, isasarado mo yung libro. Tiyagain mo lang naman para sa future mo rin naman. Next, illustration number 2. Uchiha Company has a 10-story condominium building with a carrying amount of 4 million pesos. The first 4 floors are being rented out to tenants under operating lease. Uy, kita mo na. Kung gagawin mo daw yan, meron ka daw 10-story condominium building. Yung carrying amount daw 4 million. Yung first 4 floors is for operating lease and the rest are used as office space. Each portion of the building can be sold separately. Sinabi, it can be sold separately under finance lease. Assuming that the fair values of the condominium units are approximately equal, how much is classified as investment property and how much is classified as owner occupied? Sabi daw, the fair value of condominium units are approximately equal. So kung i-imagine mo yan, wala kang imagination na feeling ko kasi nahihirapan ka sa accounting. So, lagyan natin para hindi ka mahirapan mag-imagine. Let's say, for example, meron ka daw building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 floors daw. Sinabi dyan sa 10 floors na yan, yung 4 daw dito, okay, yung 10 floors daw na to, yung cost mo daw neto, 4 million pesos yung building. Tapos sinabi daw, yung first 4th floor, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, itong floor daw na ito, itong 4 daw na ito, is for operating lease. So, classified as investment property. Tapos yung 6 daw na to, classified as PPE kasi for office space daw. O, ganyan lang siya. Hindi ka na nahirapan. So, anong gagawin mo daw? Sabi naman, it can be sold separately. Hahatiin mo lang yung 4 million. Sabi pa, approximately equal. So, parang sinasabi na yung each floor daw natin dito, yung fair value daw each floor is equal daw. So, pag sinabing equal daw dyan, ang gagawin mo, ibig sabihin, yung 4 million na yan, equally, i-divide lang natin sa 10 floors. So, ibig sabihin, yung each floor natin dito, magkano fair value? 4 million divided by 10. Yung each floor natin is nasa 400,000. Ilang floor ba yun nasa investment property? Times 4 mo lang yan. So, 400 times 4, 1,600,000 yung for investment property. And yung for PPE, gagawin mo lang dyan, 4 million less 1.6, yung kay PPE, 2.4 million. So, question, how much is classified as investment property? 1.6. Magkano yung sa owner-occupied property? 2.4. Basic. Easy, no? Ang dali lang na ito. Investment property. Next illustration. Sabi dito, Company X owns a 10 or 100,000 square meter mall. The rentable space is 80,000 square meter. However, a 10 square meter space is occupied and is an administration office. The carrying amount of the building is 10 million. How much is classified as investment property and how much is classified as owner-occupied. O, gawin mo ulit yan. Drawing mo lang ulit yan. Meron kang lupa, tapos meron ka daw building. Sabi daw, yung 100 square meter daw ito. 100 square meter daw yan. I-assume mo na lang. Yung 80 square meter daw dito, ito daw, is occupied by administration offices. So, ibig sabihin, owner-occupied daw yan. Tapos itong kalahati daw, yung 10 square meter lang naman daw, is for investment property. Okay? Sabihin na natin, hindi sinabi kung it can be sold separately. So, i-assume mo, it cannot be sold separately. So, magkano ngayon yung investment property natin? Yung investment property mo, 0. Yung owner-occupied mo, magkano? 10 million pesos. Bakit? Sino bang mas significant sa kanila? Yung PPE o yung investment property? Siyempre, yung PPE. Kasi 80,000 square meters. Tapos, 10 square meter space lang daw yung for investment property. So, mas significant si PPE. Kaya yung buong 10 million, i-classify mo as PPE tayo. Okay? Okay. Next, illustration number 4. Company owns building. Company owns a building rented out to various tenants under operating lease. CTT provides security and maintenance services. The building has a carrying amount of 1 million. Leasing is not the primary business of CTT. Oh, leasing is not the primary business. So, incidental lang yung pagrenta. Kaya ano mangyayari? Tapos, operating lease pa daw. Ano mangyayari? Yung 1 million, yan na yung investment property mo. Dali lang. Diba? Magkano PPE mo dyan? 0 tayo dyan. Okay? Okay. Next, illustration number 5. Bakit sir? Narito ako dun Bakit kaya? Sabi mo nga kasi, yung leasing daw is not the primary business of the company. Sir, paano pag yung leasing is the primary business of company? Kapag ganun daw, yung 1 million pesos, PPE daw yun lahat. Okay? Kahit na nakaka-earn niya ng rental under operating lease. Kaso leasing yung primary purpose. So, hindi na siya incidental in its nature. Kaya yung buong 1 million, PPE daw. Since dito, hindi daw primary business yung pagrenta, kaya yung 1 million pesos investment property. Okay? Number 5. Illustration number 5. CTT company owns a building operated as a hotel. Uy, hotel tayo. The building has a carrying amount of 1 million. Kung hotel tayo dyan, naka-run down ng income yan, naka-earn ng rental income yan, hindi incidental in its nature. Kaya ano mangyayari sa 1 million pesos na yan? Property, plant, and equipment daw yan. Okay? Kuha mo yan? Okay. Next tayo dito. Ano mayroon sa illustration number 6? On January 1, 2025, Camra Company decided to lease out under operating lease one of its building that was previously used as office space. Okay. Ito na ngayon, yung magpapahirap sa buhay natin pag-usapang investment property. Okay, discuss ko lang muna. Sa investment property, merong times daw na nagkakaroon ng transfer. Okay, sir, anong transfer? Ganito lang naman yan. Meron daw transfer if it can be made, it can only be made, or meron transfer of properties na lang. Para mas malinaw. Transfer of properties can only be made only if there is a change in use. With, provided na merong development daw. Okay? Paano bang, ano pang ibig sabihin ng change in user? For example, preliminary, meron kang owner-occupied property. So, PPE mo siya. Tapos sabi mo, hindi, bibili ako ng bagong owner-occupied. Anong gagawin mo dun sa dati mong owner-occupied or yung dati mong PPE? Ibibenta mo ba? Hindi. Anong gagawin mo? Paparenta ko sa iba. O ano nangyari? From PPE, naging investment property. Okay? Yun daw yun. Nagkaroon ng transfer of property or nabago yung use ng property mo. Pwede daw yun. Okay? Provided daw na dapat merong development na nangyari. For example, ulit, meron kang building. Yung building na yan, dati, PPE. Okay? Tapos sabi, ay hindi na. Sabi, for example, si Mr. A. Si Mr. A, merong building, dati PPE yan. Sabi niya, ay hindi, ayoko nang gamitin as PPE yan. Bibili ako ng bago. Ito na daw gagamitin kong PPE. Tapos ito, aalisin ko na daw ito. Okay, ano daw gagawin ko dito sa bagong PPE? Hindi ko daw ibibenta. Ano daw, for rental purposes na raw. Ang mangyayari, ito na dating PPE, ililipat mo daw into investment property. Okay, provided daw na dapat itong building na ito dati, in-improve mo daw or meron daw development na nangyari. Okay, for example, ng development na nangyari, nagpatayo ka dyan ng build, nagpatayo ka dyan ng elevator, nagpatayo ka ng escalator, Basta dapat dinevelop mo daw yung property mo para malipat mo into an investment property. Okay, sir, paano kapag hindi dinevelop o hindi mo daw siya ililipat into investment property? Specifically, sinabi sa standard, dapat daw merong development na nangyari. Okay, sige. Sir, ano mangyayari dyan? I-reclass ko lang ba sila, yung PPE tapos investment property? Yes, you've got it right. Okay, i-reclass mo lang yan. But i-take note mo na lang, it can only be reclassed at that time na nagkaroon na ng development. Okay, kaya importante yung word na development ha. I-reclass mo lang siya the moment na magkaroon ng development. O for example, para hindi ka malito, siyempre alam ko nahihirapan ka i-visualize yan sa utak mo pag concept pa lang. O for example, January 1, 2025. Ayaw mo nang gamitin. Inilipat mo daw siya na investment property. Okay? Dito ka gusto mong gamitin o gusto mo baguhin ng January 1, 2025. Kailan daw nag-start yung development? February 14 daw, 2025, Valentine's Day. Kailan mo daw siya i-reclass from PPE to investment property? Sa February 14 daw. Wala yan January 1 daw. Okay? The moment na magkaroon ng development, tsaka ka lang magre-reclass daw. Okay tayo? Okay. So, i-discuss natin anong meron dito sa reclassification na yan. Ito yung magulo talaga. Meron tayo ngayon tatawagin na accounting for transfers. Iba-iba kasi yan. Okay? Kasi tama, dalawa yung model mo. So, number 1, kapag naka-cost model ka. Okay? Kapag naka-cost model ka, ito lang naman yan. Pwede daw na yung investment property mo before is ililipat mo into property, plant, and equipment. Or yung investment property mo before is ililipat mo into an inventory. Okay? Anong gagawin mo dyan? Madali lang yan. Naka-cost model tayo dyan. Pag naka-cost model daw tayo dyan, aalisin mo lang daw yung investment property, kaya magkikredit ka ng investment property, tapos magde-debit ka lang ng property, plant, and equipment. Nag-reclassification lang tayo. Tatandaan mo, since naka-cost model tayo, yung amount na ilalagay mo daw dyan is yung carrying amount. Okay? For example, yung carrying amount ng investment property mo or yung cost less accumulated depreciation ng investment property mo is nasa 1 million pesos. Ang gagawin mo lang, debit ka ng PPE 1 million, credit ka ng investment property 1 million pesos. Okay? Nawala yung investment property mo. Yung cost ng PPE mo na 1 million pesos, yun na yung bagong i-depreciate mo. Kuha. Same lang yan actually dito sa investment property to inventory. Aalisin mo lang yung investment property, tapos magde-debit ka ng inventory. Ano yung i-debit ko daw? At carrying amount lang din daw. Kasi nga, naka-cost model tayo. So yun yung tatandaan mo pag cost model. Carrying amount lang. Madali ba yan? Dito tayo magkakaproblema sa number 2. Kapag daw naka-fair value model tayo. Okay, tiis-tiis lang ha, tiis-tiis lang. Pag naka-fair value model tayo dito, okay, ito muna daw. Tatandaan mo muna, step number 1. Step number 1, update the fair value before changes. Okay, update mo daw muna yung fair value bago ka mag-reclassification. Then step number 2, i-apply mo yung changes or mag-reclass na tayo. Okay, yan muna yung rules. Step number 1, update the fair value. Update the fair value before magkaroon ng changes. Tapos tsaka ka mag-reclass. Okay tayo dyan. Ito muna yung mga scenario natin. Pwede daw na from investment property, nilipat mo into property, plant, and equipment. Okay tayo. Ano nangyari dyan? Tama, si investment property mo naka-fair value. So, yung ending balance ng investment property mo dito, naka-fair value daw. So, anong gagawin mo? Aalisin mo lang yung investment property na yan. Magkikredit ka lang ng investment property at fair value. Okay? Kapag i-debit mo sa PPE, same lang din naman daw yan. Kung magkano yung credit mo sa investment property, yun din daw yung i-debit mo sa PPE. So, naka-fair value lang din daw tayo dito. Okay? Sir, ano ibig sabihin yan? Okay, ano ibig sabihin yan? For example, yung investment, nag-reclass ka ng December 31. Meron na namang bagong fair value sa investment property, tama? Ang gagawin mo daw, i-update mo muna yung fair value. Okay? I-update mo muna yung fair value, magkakaroon ka ng entry. Paano ba pag may changes tayo sa fair value? Magde-debit ka ng investment property kapag tumaas yung value ng investment property mo. Tapos, mag-credit ka ng unrealized gain. Okay? Para mag-reflect lang yung fair value natin. Okay, ganyan muna. Sige. Mamaya babalikan natin yung concept. Kaya gagawin natin malinis ito. Para habang nagsasagot ng problem, babalikan natin yung concept dyan. Next, what if investment property to inventory? Okay? Pag investment property to inventory tayo, ganito lang naman din yan. Yung magiging entry mo lang din dyan, magde-debit ka lang din ng inventory, tapos magke-credit ka ng investment property, wala kang problema dyan, at fair value tayo parehas dyan. Okay, o, ganyan lang din muna. Tapos syempre, magre-reclass ka muna bago mo i-transfer into inventory. Ito nga yung reclass na, or ito yung entry natin. Bago, i-update mo muna yung fair value. Okay tayo. O, ito ngayon. Ito ang komplikado sa lahat. Joke lang. Pero madali na to. Papadaliin natin to. Okay, kaya mo rin to. Kaya mo rin to. Sige. What if daw before, inventory siya? Tapos ililipat mo siya into investment property. Okay? Syempre, merong separate measurement yung investment property or inventory mo. Naka-PAS2 tayo dyan. Lower of cost and net realizable value. So, anong gagawin mo daw dyan? Ito ngayon daw. Magde-debit ka daw ng investment property. Syempre, ano yung model na gagamitin mo sa investment property? Fair value tayo, tama? Okay? So, investment property at fair value of the investment property. Tapos, i-credit mo yung inventory. Ano yung credit mo sa inventory? Yung carrying amount. O yung lower of cost at net realizable value. Okay? Kapag yung changes daw, kapag mas mataas yung investment property, syempre, meron kang unrealized gain. Kapag mas mababa yung investment property, meron kang unrealized loss. Okay, residual lang ito. Residual lang itong dalawa. Saan papasok yung residual na yan? P&L tayo. Okay, magre-recognize ka lang ng unrealized gain and unrealized loss kapag yung fair value ng investment property mo is hindi equal dun sa carrying amount ng inventory na dini-recognize mo. Okay, what if naman from PPE to investment property? Anong gagawin mo? Ito muna gagawin mo ha. Step number 1, update the carrying amount of the property, plant, and equipment. Okay, ganyan muna. Isipin mo muna, i-update mo muna yung carrying amount ng property, plant, and equipment. Then step number 2, mag-reclass na tayo. Okay, ilipat mo na. And ano yung paglilipat mo dito? Siyempre, magde-debit ka ulit ng investment property and naka-fair value model ka. So, yung i-recognize mo sa investment property at fair value. Tapos, i-recognize mo yung PPE. Yung PPE mo, yung carrying amount. Okay? Meron ka na naman changes daw. Okay? So, meron ka na namang it's either gain or it's either loss. Ganito daw ang gagawin mo dyan. Okay? If there is a gain, sabi daw, number 1, recognize to revaluation surplus. Okay, i-recognize mo daw siya sa revaluation surplus. Take note mo si revaluation surplus, other comprehensive income account yan na pumapasok sa equity section natin. Kung maaalala mo, meron akong bilanggit na revaluation surplus doon sa investment in associate na topic. Meron sa illustration yon si revaluation surplus, other comprehensive income account. Yan, pumapasok sa equity section ng statement of financial position. Okay? I-recognize mo sa revaluation surplus. If merong gain. Number 2, i-recognize mo daw muna to impairment gain. Okay? I-recognize mo daw muna into impairment gain if there is impairment loss that are previously recognized. Okay? Si investment property kasi, nire-recognize mo siya or mini-measure mo yung impairment niya yearly. Pag impaired daw siya, mag-recognize ka ng impairment loss. Pag nag-recognize ka daw before ng impairment loss, yung gain daw na nakuha mo dito sa reclassification natin na to, ipasok mo daw muna into impairment gain. Tapos yung sobra daw, tsaka mo lang ilalagay sa revaluation surplus. Okay? So, lagay ko dito, any excess recognize to revaluation surplus. Okay. Oh, what if merong loss? If meron daw loss, number 1, i-recognize mo daw to impairment loss. Yung impairment loss, papasok yan sa profit or loss natin. Okay? If, number 2 daw, if there is revaluation surplus daw, si revaluation surplus, equity account ulit yan, ang gagawin mo daw, di-recognize mo daw muna. Di-recognize revaluation surplus. Any change or any excess, tsaka mo lang ipapasok sa impairment loss. Okay, so yan yung rules natin. Okay, dito muna tayo mag-focus. Dito, baka pinos mo na yung video, tinanggal mo na, tapos ka na, sabi mo, ayoko na, suko na. Wag pa. Importante to. Dito tayo mag-focus ha. Kapag naka-fair value model daw yung investment property mo, tapos PPE, tapos ikikilipat mo daw sa investment property, ang gawin mo daw muna, i-update mo sa carrying amount yung PPE. Paano i-update sa carrying amount? Mag-depreciate ka daw muna pag meron pang hindi na-recognize na depreciation. Okay? Tapos tsaka ka magre-reclass. Yung investment property, tandaan mo at fair value. Yung PPE at carrying amount. Siyempre, meron at merong discrepancy yan. Kapag meron daw discrepancy, pag yung discrepancy daw is naka-gain, okay, i-recognize mo daw muna siya revaluation surplus. Sa revaluation surplus, equity account yan. Number 2, kapag meron daw ni-recognize before na impairment loss, mag-recognize ka daw muna ng impairment gain. Tapos yung sobra daw doon sa impairment loss, tsaka mo lang ilagay sa revaluation surplus. Okay? Kapag loss naman daw, i-recognize mo muna sa impairment loss. Okay? Pero kapag meron daw revaluation surplus, yung PPE daw natin, sabi daw, ipasok mo daw muna sa impairment. Or i-recognize mo daw muna yung revaluation surplus, tapos tsaka mo ipasok sa impairment loss. Okay tayo doon? Okay. Sige. Gawin natin. I-apply natin yung concept na yan. Pasok tayo sa illustration number 6. Sige, lagay ko yung concept dito. Next, on January 1, 2025, Camera Company decided to lease out under operating lease one of its building that was previously used as office space. So, underline mo yan, no? Previously used as office space. Tapos, ika-classify mo daw as under operating lease. So, anong nangyari dito? PPE siya before, ililipat mo siya into investment property. So, balikan mo yung rules dito. PPE to investment property. Kumaya na. The building has an original cost of 3 million and a carrying amount of 1 million pesos. And a fair value of 1.2 as of January 1, 2025. Yung fair value mo daw, January 1, 2025, 1.2. Camera uses the cost model. Cost model tayo for both PPE and investment property. The building has a remaining useful life of 10 years as of January 1, 2025. Camera uses the straight line method of depreciation. Okay? So, anong gagawin mo dyan? Siyempre, sabi ko ulit, step number 1. Cost model tayo dito. Okay, cost model. PPE. Ano nangyari dito? PPE to investment property. So, parang ganito lang yan. Investment property to PPE. I-recognize mo yung PPE, tapos magdi-debit ka ng investment property at carrying amount lang naman tayo. Kailan ka daw? Kailan mo daw siya i-recognize? Ng December 31. Tama. December 31 tayo dito. So, magkano yung carrying amount or yung cost? Cost of PPE, 3 million pesos. And yung carrying amount is at 1 million pesos. So, yung carrying amount mo daw, 1 million pesos. So, meron kang accumulated depreciation of 2 million pesos. January 1, 2025. Tapos, ililipat mo daw siya into investment property. So, anong gagawin mo dyan? Simplihan mo lang ng entry. Debit ka lang dito ng investment property. Kasi nga, i-recognize mo siya investment property, tapos i-debit mo yung accumulated depreciation mo. Kasi aalisin mo na yung accumulated depreciation mo. Naka-credit yan before, i-debit mo yan ngayon. Tapos aalisin mo yung cost ng PPE mo. O yung, tawag dito sa PPE natin na to, building na lang. I-credit mo yung building mo. Magkano yung cost ng building mo? 3 million pesos. Magkano yung amount ng accumulated depreciation mo? 2 million pesos. Yun yung carrying amount. 2 million less 3 million, 1 million pesos. Ano yung i-debit mo sa investment property? 1 million pesos. Okay? Carrying amount at carrying amount. Ganyan yung entry mo to reclass. Okay? Anong gagawin ko ngayon dito sa investment property? Naka-cost model ka. Diba? Naka-cost model ka dyan. I-depreciate mo ngayon yan. Gagawin mo ngayon, 10 years daw yung remaining useful life. So, 1 million pesos divided by 10 years, meron kang depreciation expense na 100,000. Okay? O, anong entry mo dyan? Debit ka lang ng depreciation expense, credit ka ng accumulated depreciation. Pero yung accumulated depreciation mo, lagyan mo na lang ng mark dito, investment property. Okay, ulitin ko illustration number 6. Anong nangyari dito? PPE siya before, nilipat mo siya to investment property ngayon. Okay, anong gagawin mo ulit? Tama, sa rules natin, kapag naka-cost model tayo dito, naka-cost model daw sila dito. Pag naka-cost model ka dito, investment property to PPE at carrying amount lang naman tayo. Walang changes, walang gains, walang losses kasi. Yun yung tatandaan mo. Pag naka-cost model ka, walang gains, walang losses. Kasi yung i-recognize mo sa investment property is yung carrying amount lang din mismo ng PPE na meron ka before. Okay? So, yan yung illustration number 6. So, try pa natin. Illustration number 7. Sabi, on December 31, 2025, Camera decided to use as office space one of its building that was previously leased out. Oh, ano nangyari dito? Investment property daw before, gusto mo daw siyang ilipat into PPE ngayon. The building has an original cost of 3 million and accumulated depreciation of 2 million. The recoverable amount of investment property is 800,000 as of December 31, 2025. Camera uses the cost model for PPE and investment property. O cost model na naman daw tayo dito. Investment property tayo dito. Kaso mayroon ka pang impairment loss dito. Tama. Kung mapapansin mo, yung investment property mo before, 3 million pesos daw. Tapos yung accumulated depreciation daw ng investment property mo, 2 million pesos. So, yung carrying amount is nasa 1 million pesos. Kaso sabi daw, yung recoverable amount daw ng investment property mo is 800,000 pesos. So, meron kang yung recoverable amount daw is 800,000. Okay? Tandaan mo na lang muna yung recoverable amount. Importante yan sa atin. Didiscuss natin yan sa impairment natin. Separate topic yon. So, meron ka ditong 200,000 of impairment loss. So, yung carrying amount ng investment property mo, ito na, 300,000. So, ang gagawin mo dyan, kung i-entryhan mo ngayon yan, magde-debit ka dito ng PPE, kasi ililipat mo siya into PPE. Okay? Tapos, i-credit mo yung investment property, kasi aalisin mo na yung investment property mo. Magkano? 800,000. Okay? Yan yung shortcut. Kaso, syempre, yung investment property mo, hindi lang naman 800,000 yung investment property mo. Tama? Yung cost ng investment property mo is 3 million. So, ito yung shortcut ha. Ito lang yung shortcut ng concept. Okay? Pero para mas detailed yung entry natin, ang gagawin mo dito, aalisin mo yung investment property, yung cost ng investment property mo, 3 million pesos. Okay? Tapos yung accumulated depreciation, aalisin mo na yung accumulated depreciation mo, magkano? 1 million before, may 200,000 ka na impairment loss, 1,200,000. Tapos yung debit mo sa PPE, yung 800,000. Okay, shortcut lang ito ha, wag kang malilito ha. Kanina yung diniscuss ko, shortcut lang. Yung PPE at carrying amount. Kasi tama, yung carrying amount ng PPE mo is yung yung cost ng PPE, tapos yung carrying amount is yung investment property or yung cost less yung accumulated depreciation. So, aalisin ko din yung accumulated depreciation na hindi lang yung cost mismo. Okay? So, ito yung entry natin. Debit ka ng PPE, 800,000. Yun yung carrying amount ng investment property na. Credit ka ng investment property, 3 million pesos. Yun yung cost ng investment property mo. Tapos, aalisin mo yung accumulated depreciation na 2 million pesos. Or 1.2 pala ito, 1 million to. Tapos 200,000 na impairment loss, 1.2 na accumulated depreciation. So yan for illustration number 7. Try pa natin ulit sa iba. Illustration number 8. Sabi sa illustration number 8, on December 31, 2025, Camera decided to use as office space. Gusto na daw niya gamitin as office space, one of its building that was previously leased out. Ano nangyari dyan? Investment property before, PPE na raw ngayon. The building has fair values of 1 million and 1.2 on January 1, 2025 and December 31, 2025 respectively. Camera uses the fair value model of investment property. Provide the journal entries. So, fair value model. Investment property to PPE. So, balikan mo ito. Anong gagawin mo? PPE at fair value, investment property at fair value. Step 1, update the fair value muna. Okay? Update mo yung fair value mo. On December 31 ka magre-recognize. January 1, yung value na binigay. Kung gagawin mo ng T-account yan, meron kang investment property dito. Yung January 1, yung fair value mo is nasa 1 million pesos. Pag fair value model, yung ending balance mo is yung 1.2. Ito yan. So, yung ending balance mo dito, 1.2. Meron ka ngayong X 200,000. Ano daw yung X mo dyan? Unrealized gain. Saan yan papasok? Profit or loss. Anong entry mo daw dito sa unrealized gain? Ito yan. Debit ka daw ng investment property, tapos credit ka ng unrealized gain sa profit or loss at the amount of 200,000. Yan yung step number 1. I-update mo daw muna yung fair value ng investment property natin. Tapos tsaka ka daw mag-reclass. Tama, yung reclassification mo dito is at fair value. Okay, so anong gagawin mo? Debit mo lang lahat yan sa building, which is yung PPE na natin. Tapos i-recognize mo yung investment property mo na 1.2 million. Okay, 1.2 million. Sir, wala ba akong i-debit na accumulated depreciation? Wala. Bakit? Ano ba yung model na ginamit mo sa investment property? Fair value. So, wala diyang accumulated depreciation. Tama, pag fair value, hindi mo dine-depreciate? Yes. Kaya wala tayong accumulated depreciation dyan. So, ganito lang yung basic entry natin for illustration number 8. Pag alam mo yung entry, madali lang sa'yo ito. Illustration number 9. On December 31, 2025, Camara decided to redevelop its investment property to be sold in the ordinary course of business. Anong nangyari dito? Investment property daw before, gusto mo daw ilipat, ibenta, magiging inventory na. Camara uses the fair value model. Uy, fair value model. Dito na naman tayo. Fair value model. Pag inventory, i-reclass ko lang at fair value. After kong i-update yung fair value, changes natin. Okay? Fair value on January 1, 2025 is 1.7. Tapos fair value on December 31, 2025 is 1.6. Kung gagawan ko na naman ng T-account yan sa investment property, yung beginning balance ko, 1.7. Yung ending balance ko daw dapat, 1.6. So meron akong X, binawasan ko to, 100,000. Kung nag-credit ako dyan, anong entry ko dyan? Unrealized loss. Para i-recognize ko yung unrealized loss na yan, ang entry ko dyan, magde-debit ako ng unrealized loss sa profit or loss, tapos credit ako ng investment property, 100,000. Tama? Tapos i-reclass ko na lang yan. Magde-debit ako ng inventory kasi nga investment property to inventory. Tapos aalisin ko yung big ending balance ng investment property ko, which is 1.6 million. 1.6, 1.6. So pag tinanong, magkano ending balance ng investment property mo at the end of December 31, 2025? Zero na tayo. I-recognize mo na kasi yan. Okay, aalisin mo yan dito. 1.6 million, zero na tayo. Magkano ending balance ng inventory? 1.6 million. Okay? Di ba? Madali lang. Next, illustration number 10. On December 31, 2025, Camara decided to lease out under operating lease one of its building that was previously used as office space. Oy, office space daw before. PPE daw before, tapos inilipat mo daw into investment property. The building has historical cost of 3 million and accumulated depreciation of 2 million as of January 1, 2025. Annual depreciation is 100,000 pesos. Camara uses the fair value model for investment property. Fair value daw muna tayo dito. The fair value of the building on December 31, 2025 is 1.5. Provide the journal entries. Okay? Balik tayo dito. PPE daw before, tapos naging investment property daw ngayon. Okay? PPE to investment property. Step 1, update mo muna yung carrying amount ng PPE. Magkano ba yung carrying amount ng PPE daw? Okay? Nung January 1, 2025 daw Nung January 1, 2025, yung cost daw is 3 million pesos. Yung accumulated depreciation daw is nasa 2 million pesos. So magkano yung carrying amount ng building natin? 1 million pesos. Yung carrying amount na yan, January 1. Kailan ka ba magre-reclass? December 31, 2025. So meron pang unrecognized depreciation expense dito. So mag-i-entry ka ng debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation of 100,000. So, ibig sabihin, yung accumulated depreciation mo dito, madadagdagan ng 100,000. So, yung carrying amount mo dito, magkano na? 900,000 na lang. Okay? Kuha mo yun? Sige. Ngayon, anong gagawin mo? I-reclass na natin. Tama? Yun yung step number 2 mo dito. Step number 2, mag-reclass na tayo dito. So, magkano? Yung fair value ng investment property mo, 1.5. Tama dito? Investment property at fair value. Yung PPE at carrying amount. Any changes, pag mayroong gain, tsaka natin isipin yan. Okay? So, magkano investment property mo? Kung i-entryhan mo yan, investment property, yung fair value, 1.5. So, debit ka ng investment property, 1.5. Tapos, aalisin mo ngayon yung mga cost mo. Tapos, accumulated depreciation. So, debit ka ng accumulated depreciation, 2 million pesos. Or 2,100,000 pesos kasi meron kang additional 100,000. Tapos credit mo yung cost of 3 million pesos. Okay? Oh, at cost yan. Meron bang difference? Tingnan mo yung debit mo, 1.5 plus mo yung naka-debit na 2.1, 3.6. Tapos ito, 3 million. So meron kang less 3 million dito. So meron kang 600,000 na kulang saan? Sa credit. Pag kulang yung 600,000 mo ng credit, meron kang gain. Okay? Okay. Naputol na naman tayo. So ulitin natin ulit. Illustration number 10 ulit. Yung concept natin dito is PPE to investment property. Okay? In-update muna natin. Step number 1 natin. Update the carrying amount of PPE. In-update natin yung carrying amount. Kaya naging yung carrying amount natin is 900,000 na. Okay? Tapos, yung rules ulit natin dito. I-debit ko yung investment property at fair value and i-credit ko yung PPE at carrying amount. So, fair value ng investment property mo, sabi sa problem, 1.5. Carrying amount ng property mo, 2.1 tapos 300,000, 900,000. So kung i-compare mo yun, yung bago is 1.5 tapos 900,000 yung carrying amount, meron akong 600,000 na gain. And ano yung rules kapag meron daw gain? Tama, pag meron gain, i-recognize mo daw sa revaluation surplus natin. Okay, kapag meron gain, i-recognize mo sa revaluation surplus. So ibig sabihin, magki-credit ako dito, credit ako ng revaluation surplus 900 or 600,000. So, ganito yung entry ko. Okay, so illustration number 10. Okay. Yun yung rules ha. O, next. Illustration number 11. Last two illustrations. Sabi dito, on December 31, 2025, Camra decided to reclassify a building previously used as owner-occupied property to investment property. O, PPE daw, dati, tapos ililipat mo daw siya into investment property. Historical cost of 3 million, accumulated depreciation of 2 million. Nang December 31 na yan 2025. So, updated na daw yan. So, ibig sabihin, yung carrying amount natin dito is 1 million pesos. Impairment loss recognized in the previous year is 200,000. Fair value is 1.6. O kung 1.6, tapos 1 million pesos, tama, meron kang difference na 600,000. Meron kang gain on reclass. And ano ulit yung rules natin sa gain on reclass? I-recognize mo daw muna sa revaluation surplus. Pero pag merong impairment loss before, i-recognize mo daw muna sa impairment gain. Sinabi dito, meron yung impairment loss na ni-recognize before, 200,000. So mag-recognize ka daw muna ng impairment gain. So ano magiging entry mo dyan? Debit ka ng investment property at fair value, 1.6. Okay? Tapos mag-credit ka ng, or mag-debit ka ng accumulated depreciation kasi i-recognize mo na yung accumulated depreciation mo na 2 million pesos. Tapos, i-credit mo na yung cost ng building mo. So, credit ka ng building of 3 million pesos. Tapos, meron ka daw impairment loss before. Meron kang gain dapat na 600,000. Tama. Meron kang impairment loss before na 200,000. So, mag-recognize ka daw muna ng impairment gain dito na 200,000. Tapos, meron pang kulang na 400,000. Tsaka mo lang daw ipapasok yan sa revaluation surplus, 400,000. Yan for illustration number 11. For illustration number 12 naman, on December 31, 2025, Camra decided to reclassify a building previously used as owner-occupied property to investment property. So, PPE ulit daw before, nilipat mo daw into investment property. Historical cost, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million pesos tayo dito, carrying amount. Revaluation surplus daw before, 200,000, tas fair value of 700,000. Uy, 1 million yung dati i-recognize ko, tapos 700,000 yung investment property ko. Meron akong 300,000 na loss. Yung loss daw, ano daw yung ulit yung rules natin? Pag mayroong revaluation surplus before, i-debit mo muna yung revaluation surplus. Tapos, yung tira, yun yung impairment or yun yung unrealized loss na ipapasok mo sa impairment loss. So, kung i-entryhan natin yan, debit ako ng investment property, yung fair value lang ulit ng investment property ko, 700,000. Tapos, magdi-debit ako ng accumulated depreciation kasi i-recognize ko na yan, 2 million pesos. Then, i-credit ko na yung building ko, yung historical cost ng building ko, magkano yon? 3 million pesos. Okay? Tapos, aalisin ko na yung revaluation surplus ko before. Naka-credit yan kasi equity account yan. So, aalisin ko yan. Debit ako ng revaluation surplus, 200,000. Tapos, meron akong sobra, 300,000. Saan? Sa impairment loss. Impairment loss of 100,000. Kung isi-check mo yung debits and credit natin, 100 plus 700 plus 2 million plus 200, that is equal to 3 million pesos. So, ganyan yung entry dito sa rules natin na kapag merong number, merong loss, tapos nasa number 2. Basta balikan mo lang yung rules natin ha. In-explain ko yan legibly dito. Okay? So, yan lang muna for investment property. Medyo mahirap, yes. Medyo nakakalito, yes. Medyo maraming concept, yes. Pero importante siya sa pagpasa sa board exam. So, sana tiisin, tiyagain, and God bless for everyone.